It's your day in tech history, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Expedia.com, where you can find yours with Expedia. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, and I welcome you to the Day in Tech History at dayintechhistory.com. It's part of the Tech Podcast Network. You can subscribe via iTunes, Zune, or Stitcher Internet Radio. Our Twitter is Day in Tech Hist, and all show notes are on the wiki page if you want to follow along. Now let's find out what happened on this day, your day in tech history. October 18th, 1842, American inventor Samuel Morse lays the first telegraph cable. 1871, English engineer and mathematician Charles Babbage, inventor of the difference engine in 1822, passed away. He passed away in poverty, having funded his own projects after the government ceased funding them. 1878, Thomas Alva Edison makes electricity available for household usage for the first time. And a year later, Edison manufactures the first incandescent light bulb. 1892, the first long-distance telephone line between Chicago and New York was formally opened. 1922, the British Broadcasting Company was founded by a consortium of 6 radio manufacturing companies under a government license as the sole British radio operator, 5 years before it would receive its first royal charter and become the British Broadcasting Corporation. 1928, Kodacolor, a 3-color additive lenticular process developed by Eastman Kodak, was demonstrated to the Royal Photographic Society in London. And then in 1931, it was a sad day as Thomas Edison passed away. 1954, Texas Instruments announced the Regency TR transistor radio. It was the first transistor radio. TI exec VP Pat Haggerty, wanted the product to show how transistors can change our lives. 1955, the new atomic subparticle called a negative proton or antiproton was discovered at the University of California, Berkeley. 1958, Tennis for Two was the name of the game. William Higginbotham and Robert Dvorak Sr. show off the tennis simulator using a Donner Model 30 and an oscilloscope. This becomes the first game with graphical display released. 1962, Dr. James Watson of the U.S., along with Dr. Francis Crick and Dr. Maurice Wilkins of Britain, win the Nobel Prize for Medicine and Physiology for their work in determining the double helix molecular structure of deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA, basically. 1985, the Nintendo Entertainment System was released in New York. Price was $125. 1989, version 3.0 of the Perl programming language was released. 1993, the Digital Equipment Corporation holds a press conference in Marlborough, Massachusetts, to announce its MicroVax system. It's a miniaturized version of the Digital Vax server that fits on a desktop. 1994, version 5.0 of the Perl programming language was released. In 1996, Apple Computer introduced the Apple Performa 6360 CD computer, featured a 160 MHz PowerPC 603 processor, 8-speed CD-ROM, 28 by 8 kilobits per second modem, 1 megabyte of video RAM, and would cost you $2,699. And in 1999, IBM released the latest in cutting-edge hard drive technology, the 10,000 RPM UltraStar 72ZX. The line of drives would be the world's highest capacity drives at 73 gigabytes. And now this word from our friends over at Expedia. Las Vegas, Jamaica, San Francisco, China, New York, Portland, Florida. Have you been? Maybe you're from there and you need to start planning your trip home for the holidays. Now is the time to do that. With rates at their lowest for November and December, you can get great deals in planning your trip. That's where Expedia comes in, from air travel, hotels, cars, and full vacation packages. Because who doesn't want to be in a warm city during the coldest of winters? You can also earn Expedia points so you can use them on more trips all around the world. Get $25 off your first hotel booking at Expedia. Go over to geekazine.com/Expedia for more details. Over at Expedia, find yours. Now let's get back into your day in tech history. 2002, the CBS television network airs an episode of the 48-hour investigative news series featuring an overblown investigation into the dangers of online gaming, particularly with EverQuest. 2006, Vita Linux desktop project released the version 1.3 of Vita Linux. And in 2013, Google stock hits $1,000 a share for the first time. And that's your day in tech history. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.dayintechhistory.com. All the show notes are over at wikizine.com, Geekazine's wiki. And of course, you can like the Facebook page and follow Twitter at Day in Tech Hist. Until tomorrow, take care. Day in Tech History is copyright 2014 JMP Enterprise and Geekazine.com.